Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, and on this episode we are going to take all of these Caterium ingots that we're making and we're going to turn it into a quick wire factory. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into it. Alright, so we are going to make the Quickwire using the alternate recipe Fused Quickwire, which combines Caterium ingots and copper ingots. In fact, we're going to be using the majority of it is going to be copper ingots, followed up by some Caterium. We're also going to be underclocking this by 20% to get it to an 80% production speed, and that's so that we can balance out our conveyors properly. It's going to consume 30 copper per minute and 6 Caterium ingots per minute to be able to make our Quickwire. We have a ridiculous amount of of Caterium ingots that we're making over here. So we're going to have a ridiculously large factory that's going to be taking all of this into account. Like, we're going to need 4,350, I think it's 4,350 copper to be able to build this Quickwire factory. So first things first is we got to get copper over here. I've only got one feed of copper that I brought in so far, and we need to get this set up. We're going to go on a tiered tower build for this, and we're going to have 10 assemblers per level of this tower that we're going to be building here. Now, I think it's, what is it, a total of, well, let's do the math on it. We're, let's just grab our little calculator here. Let's see. We are 30 copper ingots, so that's 70 or 780 divided by 30 is going to be 26. It's going to be 26 constructors to be able to use one line of copper. But Caterium, let's see, 780 Caterium divided by 6, that's 130 assemblers just to deal with one line, one factory line of the Caterium ingots that we're making. And then of course we've got, how much extra have we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was that 10? No, I miscounted that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it was 10. So we have another 120 ingots. So in total, that's going to be 900 ingots is what we're making, divided by 6. We need 150 assemblers set up for this. That's 15 floors of assemblers that we're going to be building here. This is going to be one ridiculously large tower, and a ton of materials to be able to build this. So I guess first things first is let's get started. Let's get our first 26 in place here and figure out the logistics of moving our copper and Caterium around from level to level. Okay, we've got some logistics in place here, and I've kind of got things rolling using one of our copper lines that we've got set up here. So we've got 10 on the first level that are all set up. We have 10 more on the second level, and on the third level, the first 6 here are using up the first copper line that's coming in, and then we bring in a second copper line that's going to continue this whole process moving forward. Because remember, we're actually going to need 130 of these assemblers to look after the first line of 780 Caterium ingots that we're going to be working with. So all in all, I mean, logistically, it's been fairly clean getting everything in here. I've got the Awesome Sync running here to be able to take care of the Caterium ingots while we're building this, mainly just because I don't want my smelters to get backed up at all while we're getting this all set up. So now we're going to continue this on. I'm going to get all of this one Caterium line taken care of, which is 780 items per minute. Let's get it all logistically set up here on all 13 floors, and then we'll have a look at what it looks like before we bring over the last line of 120 items per minute. All the logistics are in place now for dealing with 900 Caterium ingots and 4,500 plus of our copper ingots, making our Fused Quickwire. And there are 15 floors in place here that are taking care of it. The first 13 floors look after the 780 item per minute line, and the last 2 floors take care of the 120 items per minute. And then I've just thrown in the awesome sinks at the end of those lines for right now until we get things all actual fired up and producing here. But all the machinery is in place and all the input logistics are done. So the next step that I've got to work on here is we need to get everything here all powered up, because of course none of this is powered up right now. But I have copied and pasted all of the recipes in place, so everything's all set up, ready to go that way. So we'll get things powered up, and then I got to start looking at, okay, we've got to deal with the output logistics, because we're making 72 Quickwire per assembler heading out of here. And we're sitting, what, 150 assemblers? That's what, 150 assemblers times 72 Quickwire. We're making 10,800 Quickwire out of this. Now that is a factory. 15 floors, and we're like, from the ocean floor, we're up actually taller now than what our iron plant is that's over there. And we get a pretty good view of, we got the aluminum factory over that way. We got the copper factory there. We've got our iron factory here, and way off in the distance is the space elevator from our starter factory. So bit by bit, we are getting even closer now to getting to that point that we're going to start building our nuclear power plant. So hold on tight now while we get everything here powered up. I finished adding all the electrical components to get everything all powered up here now, as well as each one of these assemblers is primed. It's got a full amount of Caterium, a full amount of copper in them. We're cooking along. We're getting ready to actually start organizing the output side of these assemblers. So each floor all the way up is all set up, and I just kind of, I don't know, I threw up these beams here and tried to clean up the cabling on it so that it just wasn't too much of a mess around here dealing with all those extra cables and stuff. And then I can actually turn this plant on and off directly right here. There's a power switch that I've got set up here. It is actually engaged right now because I wanted to have everything all primed up and ready to go. The next part I'm going to work on is our output side, gathering up all of the Quickwire, and it'll end up all going into awesome sinks. And let's see, we've got 150 assemblers all making 72 of the Quickwire. So that's 10,800 divided by 780. We're going to be like 14 conveyor lines. 14 awesome sinks that are going to be consuming all of this Quickwire. It's actually kind of ridiculous how much Quickwire we're making here, but hopefully I'm going to have plenty of room out here to be able to take care of all of the awesome sinks. And yeah, let's get the output logistics all taken care of for this structure that we've got set up here. And now we have completed all of the output for our Caterium power. We have 14 output lines making 10,800 Quickwire all at once here. And everything's just flowing along. There's the occasional little hiccup and stutter, but I think that's kind of the run-of-the-mill with working with 780 item per minute conveyor belts, where they just... every once in a while at a seam, it'll hiccup or skip or cause a little gap in there, and that's why we see every once in a while there's a small little gap in here. I did receive, during this whole process, a really valuable lesson on don't just use Mark V conveyors absolutely everywhere. And the reason for that is I did find that if I just put Mark V conveyors on the output side of all of our assemblers, eventually you could actually overwhelm the inputs on the mergers on here, because you basically have, like, say there's 12 items in here, it's flying out at 780 items per minute, and we've got items flying in at 780 items per minute. Well, it can only push out 780 items per minute. So somewhere there's got to be some give, and you end up causing some significant little gap issues. So I went around and I changed all of the outputs on everything to 120 item per minute. They're Mark II belts on there. And suddenly my material flows improved significantly. We used to, every one of these conveyor lines would have like huge gaps like this one section here all the time. And it was really frustrating. Now we're just seeing occasional little blips in here, but it would be huge chunks. And then we were having our last assembler in each one of these little assembly sections. It was just getting backed up, and it's like they're only producing 72 items per minute, but they would completely back up and cause an issue. So once I balanced that out a little bit, it stopped overwhelming the mergers and things started flowing a lot better. I still have the Awesome Sync set up that if any occasional pure or any Caterium node or Caterium ingot goes through, it will fly in and dump into the Awesome Sync, but it's not very often. And that's also on this line here that's looking after the 720 item per minute line. We might see just the occasional one, like this one right here, whoop, flips through, dumps into the Awesome Sync. But now, I mean, all of that is cruising away down there, there's 14 Awesome Syncs there that are taking care of all of our Quickwire. But all in all, that is our Quickwire manufacturing capacity. Some quick lessons learned. I mean, this is my third playthrough in the game in total. And I just figured all the time, I'm like, Mark V conveyors everywhere. It's always going to be, why bother using the different speed conveyors? Well, when you're dealing with a factory this size, it really did start to play a role in how well the mergers worked. So with that said, I hope you can take these valuable lessons that I provided and reach down and hit the like button on this video. If you are new to the channel, throw a subscription out there. That would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of our 10,800 Quickwire that we're making here. And yeah, you can reach out. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. And with that all said, guys, you have yourself a good one. And we're going to see you in the next episode. Bye for now.